what? She says, well, just depending on, like, if he gets reelected, should we get a gun? I was like, babe, I was like, that's sweet and alarming. I was like, but I think if he doesn't get reelected, we have to get a gun.
Yeah.
I was
All
like,
right. I think
because that's when people are gonna like all the fucking racist,
yep.
bigoted.
They've been fired up.
They're like, oh, we're gonna get our fucking shit back, and now they're just like, oh, what? Because let's face it, Joe Biden is gonna pick hopefully a woman of color to be his vice president.
It's gonna be a woman. He said that today. He said, follow me to find out. It's something he said who she is.
Right.
Is what he said. So
that would be nice. And so Joe's not gonna last long. So we're gonna have a female president.
Okay, stand on by.
You know, I mean, we don't have,
Audio's live.
Audio's live.
Yep.
Is the video live?
Yep.
Wait, oh God, I didn't get my. Hold on. Sorry, everybody.
It's not. Oh, it's kind of live.
Oh, so people can.
I mean, your ugly mug is on the screen.
The drawing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you need that.
The ugly, the pinche fucking drawing that I did.
Oh, it's warm. It gets real warm.
Oh, it gets dumb. It gets real dumb.
Yeah, it's 79.8 when we are.
Oh God, I just realized. I think I did want to start. No, I can't. I need to practice that one.
Hey man.
I mean, I haven't practiced any of them.
Rush song?
Yeah, I was gonna do YYZ, and I was like, oh shit, I need to practice. Because I can't remember if it's or if it just goes I think that's the one. Yeah. Go live. There I am. No, what's happening? Why is it playing something? Oh, it's playing a commercial before me. That's good though, right? Shouldn't it do that?
I hope so. Oh, your audio's on.
I know my audio's on. What a dum dum.
I'm gonna flip you over live. Is that okay?
Flip it. Flip that shit. Look at all those subs rolling in. What does that even mean?
I have no idea.
I don't know the fucking lingalang. Yeah. And so for my kids show, I busted out my dope kazoo. I found this dude who makes really nice handcrafted wooden kazoos. It's got a great sound. It plays like a dream, and depending on which way you go in, it changes the tone. But yeah. All those Twitch dollars. Is that what those are? I don't know. There's people subscribing to you. Oh, I don't know what that. I don't pay attention to things.
I honestly have no idea what that
Yeah.
means.
Imagine a child, right? And then make that child pre-birth, and that's about as much as we. I'm not very bright. But kazoo. Everybody's got to have one. So I've been trying to figure out how to work the kazoo in. How's everybody doing? You were a child? That's great. Congratulations. That's super. Oh, that's fantastic. I've found that life is best started that way. You know, none of this fucking Mork and Mindy shit. For those of you who know what Mork and Mindy is. Is everybody doing okay? What day is today? Sunday?
Sundays.
All right. We're doing the thing as per usual for anybody who hasn't been here before. Oh, it's Ben Saunders. I thought I was like, oh. Let's see who else is there. Hey gang. Daima Who, what's up? Strangest spinoff ever. Yeah. Right? So if you we I don't never know what I'm doing. I never ever know what I'm doing. So, um, should should I play a song? Should we start with a song?
Well, talk about who our special guest is.
Oh, we can start that way. Yeah. So, uh, we've decided that Sundays we're gonna try to have a friend come on. I thought it was Bernie Sanders too, but it's Ben. Ben Saunders is Bernie Sanders' cousin. Um, the funny thing is they look very similar. So in case, I'm sorry, Ben. I know this happens to you all the time, where you're like, "I'm not my cousin Bernie," um, but you know, these are the breaks in life. But I have a friend of mine uh, named Mark Yaeger, and he's hanging. So we decided that Sundays is going to be bring a friend to work day. So that's so my friend Mark Yaeger came down from the Los Angeles area and was hanging out, and I said, "Hey, do you want to come do something really super awkward with me?" Which is have me try to. And there's his beautiful Poonam, and you want to try to. I'd like to share your awesomeness with other people, and so yeah, we're gonna talk about. I have a whiteboard here with talking points, right? So the last time we had Tavis on, and I was like, "Hey, man, I haven't seen you in 4 years, and before that, probably 10. How's things?" And so that actually went rather swimmingly, considering the awkwardness of trying to interview somebody who you used to live with for 10 years on a small tube, traveling around the world, and um, and then hadn't seen for almost 15. So, but then, so yeah, we're going to talk about Mark as a composer of the musics. Um, um, and so he also has a hankering for vanilla candles. But maybe not. I just made that part up because it sounded nice. I mean, who doesn't like a nice vanilla candle besides Rafi? But so we're going to talk about composing for video games, composing for film. He's done some composing for space agencies, which that just fucking sounds tight. And then something that my team of information gatherers forgot is he also composed for the country of China.
That's right.
Which I remembered because it was a spectacle to behold. The entire project, if I'm not mistaken,
Quite literally. Yeah.
quite literally,
Yep.
was quite an undertaking. So we're going to talk about all that stuff. And I'm going to someone that I talk to casually and informally as a friend, and we're going to try to make this as weirdly awkward and formal as possible. So that'll be neat, especially because
And a giveaway.
and then we have a giveaway, but that loops in with Mark's career. So yeah, he's actually going to give away a part of his brain. So part of this whole thing, we're like trying to figure out things to do, and I figured amateur surgery would be neat, and I don't think Twitch has any problems with it. We haven't read all of the like fine print, but they did not say that amateur surgery was a no-go. I don't think.
I think we're okay.
So we're gonna harvest a little bit of that gray matter and send it to somebody through FedEx because UPS was not into it.
Yes, we gotta support this.
We're gonna send. That's right. We're gonna send it through USPS. I apologize. That's we're gonna support the United States Postal Service, unless somebody outside the country gets it, and then USPS will then send it a different. But I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. All right, so let's play a song. But I don't know what to play. Any requests? Are we doing requests yet? Yeah, we're already doing. Yes, I did a shout. Yes, I did a Rafi reference because I worship at the altar of Jason Matsoukas. And for those of you who do not, get with the program. I don't know. So fucking stupid. Somebody wants "Welcome to New York." That's a hard one to start right out the gate, but might as well. You asked for it. Sorry. That's the right chord, right? All right. Again, when people practice, they know the answers to questions like, I wrote this song and I should know the first chord. I don't practice, so no one else would know but me. And I don't, so here we are. Oh, I packed up suitcases, one for clothes, one for dreams. And on the 5-hour flight, I made my foolproof schemes. That I'd eat the Big Apple, not choke on the seeds. And they'd name a street after me. 'Cause this was not destined to be. 'Cause every actor, model, musician in the food industry smiles for tips to afford their 300 square feet. And at the end of auditions, all they hear is next, please. So at night they drop to their knees. God, can you still hear me? So welcome to New York, aren't you lonely now? Even your God lost you in the crowd, amongst the sound of 8 million people whose hearts make man's choir. Hope and hopes can reach higher than man can build. On the sidewalks and subways where dreams are for sale, live the giant-sized judging eyes of those who've yet to fail, staring into the faces behind open guitar cases, belting just so they can hear past the ringing of the city in their ears. So welcome to New York, aren't you lonely now? Even your God's lost you in the crowd, amongst the sound of 8 million people whose hearts make man's choir. Hope and hopes can reach higher than man can bear. Just because that note's wrong. Yeah, that one's tough to just lay right into. Great. Thanks, gang. Let's see. I missed a bunch of stuff. Congrats on the affiliate, by the way. Thank you so kindly. Thank you. Affiliates so far. Oh, I'm reading my own things. Yeah, we don't know what that means. The key changes. I know. I don't know why I do that to myself. Probably because I'm.
Change down.
Yeah, key change down, right? That's generally so uplifting. People are like, oh, so triumphant to go down. But tell your friend and partner enough soon. Let's see. What else do we have going on? Oh, we do actually have a segment. So this is fucking hilarious. So there was a point about 15 years ago.
Yes.
When I lived here in Southern California with my good friend and current manager. He's like, as soon as we can find someone to take you over as manager, he's like, I'm handing it off gladly, because I am a nightmare of a human to work with. So fucking stupid. And then my younger brother Brian, we lived in this house together, owned by said Scott, and not me, the other, and so we all lived there. And when you're in your 20s, some of you may know this. Some of you may not have this problem. You collect a lot of junk, and then you like move into someone else's place, and you move into another person's place, and then you move into another person's place, and you leave little treats behind for the people who stay in those homes. So one of those things that we're pretty sure is my younger brother's is this gigantic bag of buttons. We've looked in it briefly, and the things that we saw were so good that I thought that we would add a thing where we just go pull out a mystery button and see what we get. Because this gigantic bag is full of buttons, badges, if for those of you who don't call them, or pins, whatever you like to call them, they're all in here. So I want to do today, August 9th, Sunday, at, no, Siri, I'm not talking to you. At 9:30 at night, we will begin the mystery button bag. So I'm gonna pull it out. I realized I was like, I'm gonna dig around in there, and I was like, so fucking stupid. There's like pointy. Yeah, talking about so. And okay. So this is the kind of thing I'm excited about. It's a Ghostbusters button that says "Back off, man." The next line is, of course, "I'm a scientist," but it's a Ghostbusters button that says "Back off, man." So that's pretty good. I don't know. Oh, I don't want to look in the bag. I just looked and I'm like, oh, there's too many good things in here. So we close it back up, and bag of buttons, Ghostbusters button, back off, man. Based on looking in the bag briefly, I don't think there's repeats of, but I don't know. There could be. But so if we get repeats, I'll just have to rummage around more. But Ghostbusters pin. This might not be exciting to you. Part of me doesn't care. To be honest. It's exciting. Yeah, it's exciting to Mark. Just like, oh, all right, that's where we go. And then maybe we'll throw it in somebody's order. If you order something from the store on the website, then we'll throw it in there. And then, and then we'll get to find out who the hell got it. So I'm not trying to shill to order something, by the way. Now that seems like a cheap plug. I was just trying to figure out how to get rid of these fucking things because we don't want them at the house and we don't want them in the space. We have to get rid of these buttons, and we don't know how to get rid of them. So send us your address, and we'll just put it in a thing. Okay, Katya's home. I just wanted her to text me and let know she got home safe. Unless she's been abducted by aliens, and they probed her brain and said, well, now we have to send this text message because we know that it's being waited for. So that's a concern I have now. I didn't know that was going to be a problem. Okay, I gotta stop waking up and watching the X-Files, which is a fun thing to do, by the way, if anybody hasn't done it. By the way, did anybody go out and buy a bidet since last we spoke? I've been keeping an eye on bidet sales.
I purchased one on my Animal Crossings game.
You got a bidet for Animal Crossing. That's a good. That's almost as good. Yeah. I'm always streaming when you're busy, but I rock, dude. Oh, thank you, gnarly dude. Trademarked. You have the gnarly dude trademarked. That's your jam. I saw you live at the Tivoli in Brisbane. It was one of the last. Oh, it was one of my last shows with RBF. Yeah. Just wanted to say thank you for one and the best shows. Oh, thank you so much. That was an emotional tour because that was quite literally my last tour with Real Big Fish. Was that Australian tour?
Let's go back.
Let's go back to Australia.
Yes.
I'd love to go back to Australia. Yeah. Let's make it happen, gang. I'll come back and I'll play shows. I can't bring late night, bidet late and $1 short. Oh, thanks the farms. I needed that. So let's see what else should we. How did you want to do this again? You guys, we don't know what we're doing. If this is, I mean, for anyone who hasn't been here before, this may be a surprise. They're like, what is happening?
Let's do another song.
Do another song.
And then we'll bring Mark out. And then
Okay.
we can have him reach into the button bag.
That's a good idea. And then should we wear them?
I think so.
Let's see. What can I play? I kind of want to. Katya did ask for something.
Oh,
And
well,
it's-
she's home.
Yeah.
Well, unless
She wanted to hear New Modern Man. This is not a song I've released yet, but we're gonna.
all right.
Is that okay?
Yes.
We try not to play the songs that I haven't released yet because we don't want them to get too locked up in the noodle. But this is a good one. It's a fun one. Let me get a drink of water. Is everybody else staying hydrated? Not that you're going to tell me. But I feel like we're close enough now, Twitch people, that I can share this with you. This is a little bit of personal information. The other day I was here at our lovely warehouse creative space. And I was in our restroom, which I'll be honest, is a little rough. It's a little rough. But I was in there and I had the opportunity to, so I think one of the great things that's going on with wearing masks is we get to have these interesting experiences with smell, where your breath mixes with the things going on outside and make combinations that you didn't know possible, nor did you care to experience. But I had, for lunch, grilled asparagus. And so I had an asparagus pea while breathing the breath of a venti soy latte with an extra shot, and the smell of asparagus pea mixing with my very specific soy-based coffee breath, truthfully, was quite enjoyable. That may seem gross. I'm just telling you what happened in my life. Don't judge my experience, and I won't judge yours. And there's also a don't knock it till you tried it situation going on. So, because let's face it, I don't buy anybody who says they don't enjoy the smell of their own asparagus pea. You dig it like in the weirdest way possible. It's a slight bit of shame. You sit there with your fucking asparagus pea and you giggle to yourself, but you also go like, oh, this is so terrible. We all know. We all know. And yet nobody says anything at fucking dinner parties. Well, guess what? I don't give a shit. I'm loud. Out loud. I love the smell of my asparagus pea. It reminds me that I'm alive and that the body is hilarious. I cannot take this thing that I travel around the corporeal world with it very seriously. It is hilarious. It poops, it pees, and when I put asparagus in it, it smells bananas. Anyway. This is so much information. It is. But I'm a full fucking information individual. Nope City. That's you're not having it. Atomic Bun Bun. That's just not your jam. Fair enough. You know what? An Atomic Bun Bun? I support that. I support that 100%. You be you. But I'm going to get down with my asparagus pea. Just saying. Let's see. I am a millennial. I can't afford to have a dinner party. Sorry. Fair enough. Also, you know, if you put bananas in it, does it smell like asparagus? No, it didn't smell like bananas. It smelled bananas, not like bananas. But I see where you're going with that. That was confusing. I apologize. I maybe shouldn't have used another food item to explain how it smelled. I should have said, you know, ludicrous, but that could be confused with the rapper. People would be like, oh, you're peeing and hanging out with Ludacris or
Ludicrous in and of itself.
yeah, and it's like,
You need to play a song.
okay, I'll play a song. I'm so sorry. I gotta do a thing. Here we go. I realized it didn't even warm up. Okay, here we go. A song called New Modern Man. It starts there, yeah. I had a massive hangover, not from drink but multitasking, and I'm losing my nerve. So in an attempt to act older, I slipped, tripped, and stumbled and got what I deserve. So with bits of wire and stainless steel, I devised a scheme to remove my flesh and bone to be replaced by machines. I fantasize as I cauterize to ignore the pain. Now my robot leads to the walking as I live in my brain. People stop and they cheers. I walk down the street saying hooray for the new modern man. Instead of toiling away, I can spend all day thinking about me. Ba-da-doom, 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 boom, 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 boom. These hands have never been too effective that I can recall. Give me something that when it's defective can be recalled. Now this may seem a bit extreme to fix things that ain't broke, but I've got rubber lungs that glow blue when I smoke. My sense of humor's been replaced by a giant database of jokes. I can tell you one, but first enjoy this ad for Diet Cocoa. I buzz in hours. I walk down the street. I'm a beacon for the new modern man. We'll join hands in the sun just as soon as I'm done thinking about me. Ba-da-doom, 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 boom, 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 boom. Now I don't need to mock the hands of God or say his work on earth ain't divine. No, but hey, no, I'm no slouch myself, and I've got a pretty good eye for design. So now I'm ultra fantastic, covered head to toe in space age plastic. Oh, I'm Clinton, I gleam as I walk down the street, say 3 cheers for the new modern man. Instead of toiling away, I can spend all day posting my feelings on a chest display, which is eco-friendly cause it's powered by solar rays as I slowly drift towards a death bomb malaise. God bless my unalienable rights to think all about me. Ba-da-doom, 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 boom, 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 boom. forgot the card. All right. New Modern Man. Hooray! It's a song. Who knows what that song's about? I don't know what that song's about. It's yeah. Anyway, don't ask me what songs are about. Because the answer is generally less entertaining than the song. That's what I've decided. Anytime I've ever tried to explain a song, I'm like, no, that just doesn't sound. Hey, Scott Clownstein, have you done professional voice training, or is this au naturel? It's very au naturel. Yeah. In fact, I would love to do some voice training because the long break that I've taken from doing like everyday singing and hard work has created a little break in the voice that wasn't there before, and so now it's very frustrating. So if you're, music takes hard work. So I've trained on my own, but actually I went to a school of the arts for high school, and I was constantly being told by voice teachers that they hated my voice. So that was always, that's the thing you want to hear from a teacher. I dislike your voice. I'm like, oh, good. Well, glad we're paying for this then. Thanks. No, I'm kidding. No, I always actually had great support from, but I just didn't listen very well. So, let's see. Again, I don't say anything seriously until I go seriously. But seriously, no, I had great. I had a few vocal teachers that tried to help me learn technique, and I was too young, too wild, too free, too hopped up on goofballs. So there we go. There's the non-serious part again. Can't do it. Let's see. What else are people saying? No, I already read the dinner party thing, which makes me sad. You can have dinner parties aren't that expensive. You just got to make them potluck. Everybody brings their own favorite casserole. Hot dog casserole and tuna fish casserole with the Spanish olives. You cut them in and put them in there. That's what my mom used to do. Speaking of which, for anybody who watched the episode where I said that I liked to agitate my mother as a 43-year-old man, I found joy in agitating my mother. She came over yesterday, and she said she watched that show. She found that very interesting, and we had a long talk about that. That's how I prove that people love me, is because if they didn't get agitated, they probably wouldn't care. So that's how I prove to myself that people still love me, is I make them angry at me. Broken? Yes. Functional? It works. I find out. I am not a healthy person. What else are we saying? My favorite part of any song ever is your voice solo in the setup. Oh, thank you. I was thinking of a very specific... Truthfully, I was thinking of a very specific person when I sang that part. Oh yeah, should we get to the thing? What the blankety blank blank blank? Okay, my favorite, great song. Thank you so much. Every live performance of that bit in the setup, I've heard is magical. Oh, are you talking about when we made the music video? That was an interesting experience. I don't make music videos well, so I was generally experimenting with reality-altering situations on almost every single video I shot until 2002. That's just a little something about me and what I like to do on my spare time. All right, we'll go. Okay. What should I do?
Bring that chair over.
Oh, bring this in.
Can you bring that mic up?
Yeah, we can bring it up. So we're gonna bring in my friend Mark, and we're gonna make things really awkward. I promise. And yeah, I'm gonna ask him just to explain. I think he's dreamy, but I'm gonna ask him to explain why he thinks he's dreamy. So put my mask on, my Tika mask. My wife makes these. I'm doing commercials. I feel really bad shilling. Sorry, everybody. It's not intentional. But you can hit her up on Instagram at TB Klopfenstein. She makes masks, dope ones. She's got Ruth Bader Ginsburg masks, Golden Girls masks, Skink and Nude masks. So yeah, please welcome to the thing, Mark Yaeger. Woo! Wait, where's the card? Oh, here's the card. Hold on. You need one of these. But wait, it kicks in. Wait a minute. It's almost there. Come on. There it goes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was just waiting for the louder.
Yeah. At the very end. And then the happy birthday lights up.
Oh, it's my birthday actually.
You know.
Oddly enough.
Yeah. Way to go, Grandma Joe.
Yeah.
My grandmother got me this.
She did? It's a very grandma card.
It's right.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're going to have to get another one. Because this one I think is dying.
We'll find a battery.
Yeah. As soon as... So wait, are we in this thing? Do we need to bring... Does anybody need to move any way?
Do I need to come in closer here?
Do I need to scooch a little?
Or he could scooch towards you.
But I want to... Because we're not in the... If we were professionals,
Ooh, Neumann.
we would have...
2 of them.
Yeah. The TLM 103s. Oh, somebody did ask what kind of mics you're using. And these are Neumann TLM 103s. They're just a great all-around mic.
They're fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm here to wrangle in this shit circus of a radio that you're running. Here, let's
All right.
I like the rambling. That's the most fun part.
Okay. So, we were sitting at dinner today, and I was thinking, we were talking about, so my friend and creative partner, who some of you have heard me talk about before, Katya McMullen, she came down and met G. Scott and Mark for the very first time, and she's heard much about both of these gentlemen. And so there was a lot of that, like, oh, how'd you guys meet? But then I really was thinking, I was like, I don't know how we met.
I have no idea. We just existed as friends.
Yeah. Do you remember, Scott? It's like...
I
I don't know.
No, nobody knows.
That's weird. It just happened. Like it appeared.
Yeah.
We appeared as friends. Not even. I mean, just that. Wow.
Yeah.
You're blowing my mind here with these.
I know. I was thinking about it. I was like, how the... But that's the magic of being alive. I guess that's the takeaway.
That's the whole point of it, actually.
Yeah.
Is surprise friendships.
Right. So as I mentioned, I have a list of talking points here.
Now, I want everyone to know that I had no idea this was happening.
None of us did. G. Scott has these ideas, and he vaguely communicates them to me while I'm like juggling children and things. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, we're going to get some dinner. And he's like, yeah, let's do a stream too. I'm like, okay. And he's like, and then you ask Mark a bunch of questions. Like, okay.
Yeah.
So out of these,
Do we just pick one?
Well, you pick one.
Well, I mean.
Okay.
All right.
Let me. So, I'm gonna lump some things because
Sure,
they're themey things.
Okay.
So one of the things it says here is Apollo 2.
No.
That's Apollo 11.
Yeah.
Because I was like, Apollo 2. The Apollo 11
Nothing
50th
really happened.
anniversary.
Yes.
But then there's also the European Space Agency.
Not connected.
Not connected.
I mean, theoretically in life.
Right,
yes.
in the function. But which one came first, though?
You mean again in life?
Yes, in life. Not in like succession of creation.
Okay. I would think in life, Apollo 11 came first because NASA existed before the European Space Agency did.
Sure. But I meant in
You
your
mean in
career.
I know. Okay. The Apollo 11. Well, okay, it's hard. The idea for it, I'll tell you about the European Space Agency, came before my idea for the Apollo 11 thing. But in terms of coming into fruition, the Apollo 11 thing came first. And what I did was, I have a dear friend who's a world-renowned and just incredible solo cellist. His name is Gauthier Capuçon. He's French, if you can tell from the name. And not Gautier, somebody that everyone used to know. And he is a fantastic cellist. And we met because he was going to play the cello on a short film a mutual friend of ours was directing. So I composed the score, and he goes, "Hey, my friend Gautier he's willing and happy to play solo cello if you decide to write any solo cello parts." And that's kind of like someone coming up to you and saying, "We have Yo-Yo Ma.
Right.
He's happy to play solo cello if you write any solo cello parts." You're not going to go, "You know what? No, I was thinking I was going to do kazoo."
Right.
So no, bye, Yo-Yo Ma. So I wrote some solo cello parts, and we became friends. And I decided, because I'm a huge space fan, because everyone on the
It's
everyone
fucking
it's
space.
Yeah,
If you're not into space, I think you're missing missing it.
Yeah. So I, last year, this was last year, July, it was the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing, which was not fake. I think there was a minute where I thought it was back when I was young, 14, because it was fun to think that, but it's not. So it's real. And so I decided, I'm like, hey, I'm a huge space person. I have Gautier, I have all these cello parts, I have everything. I'm going to compose a piece kind of like as a tribute, something kind of really light and airy and whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I did, and Gautier has a record deal with Warner Classics. I sent them the piece, and they happily really liked it, wanted to release it. So that was kind of that, and that's how it kind of came to be. So.
And so NASA didn't get involved in any way. They didn't
No, the thing with NASA,
they didn't stand in your way.
No, because it wasn't
Fucking
an official thing, and also with NASA, it's NASA projects. They're funded, and they have to go through committees and planning and permitting and all that, blah blah blah. Also, I'm not cool enough for a NASA thing.
Well, I mean, let's keep dreaming, man.
I'm tonight in a few hours.
Yeah.
So that's that.
That's awesome.
And so that's one checked off.
That's one checked off. Do you want to check them off, or do we just remember that one's done?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just remember for now. Yeah. It would be helpful to have a red marker, though, Scott. Red marker would be fucking. We got a whiteboard, so that was helpful. And then the European Space Agency.
So now this, so I thought of this really kind of wacky, crazy idea for, I can't say too much about it, but composing music in various harmonics of cosmic entities.
Mm-hmm.
And I have some partners in France, in Paris, and we started talking about it. We thought of this whole kind of idea of it, and I mulled on it for months, came up with a real interesting concept, approached the European Space Agency, because we're going to need a lot of data from them, from their astrophysicists, from their scientists, and whatever. They loved the idea. They jumped on board. And so now, over the next, hopefully if we can travel, over the next 4 to 6 months, it's going to be heavy research and planning for this huge music, I would call it like a symphonic suite of various harmonics. I should say tuning, but I don't want to get too detailed, coming from different things in space. And with the partnership of the European Space Agency, and it's going to be a live thing, and you can experience it. I want to have like installments all for free for people to come, watch. We'll do live performances. But that's kind of in the pre-production phases, if you will.
That sounds fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I didn't think it would. Funny enough, I had gone to see the re-release of 2001: A Space Odyssey a few years ago with some friends, and it was in the middle of watching the re-release in the theater that I had the idea for it. I love that movie, and so just from where it came from, that kind of idea to now being partners with the European Space Agency, it's night and day. It's,
right.
Yeah, amazing.
Did they not? Was it hard to get them on board and convince them you were taking this seriously? You knew what you were fucking talking about.
Yeah, it took months of conversations, because they have their own projects that were years in the making, and then this is considered a special project.
Sure.
And it took a lot of pushing and a lot of talking and a lot of pushing, and then I went there and I met with them a few times, and it just became like we found a wonderful contact there who's kind of running our ship on behalf of them, and they're just so open and so inviting to it. They're Europeans, super close with you. You don't have a lot of red tape. It was really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's essentially, if I can wrap my brain around it, and I'm totally going to sound like a dum-dum. So is it trying to compose using or around the interpreting
Magnetic fields.
magnetic fields into a tonal harmonic
Sort of.
frequency?
Yeah, I'm not going to use any of the sounds because there aren't any. I mean, there are sounds, but they're not. Obviously, there's no atmosphere in space.
Right,
there's
right,
no
but
sound,
it's
but there is stuff there.
Right.
There are vibrations there, and whether they are actual frequencies or they're electromagnetic or
Right.
they're thermal, whatever it is, they all do kind of emit. I shouldn't say resonant frequencies because some of them are like white noise, so you're going
Sure.
to have a whole mess of frequencies. But to find either the prevalent or the most responsive, or even in those you can find peaks and valleys and work together a melody. But yes, the tuning is not going to be standard. It's going to be different for each piece based on whatever entity, like Saturn's rings emit this and whatever. So
Okay.
that's kind of the idea.
All right. And then would you like also intermix it with like interpreting? Because James Murphy from LCD Sound System did a project where he took data from, I think it was like fucking World Cup matches or something like that from a certain time. And he took the data and then put them into a program that then interpreted them into some sort of like melodic structure.
Right.
And turned it into these like
Yeah, it's going to be less one-to-one than that.
right.
Because a lot of people have also taken, they go, oh, this is what the Hubble telescope, have you seen that? Like the music of like the stars or whatever. But,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
so
Yeah.
what they did is they just kind of took the points and made them different, assigned pitches to them
Sure,
as
sure.
they were beyond like a sideways keyboard. And they just made those into sound. So that's
Right.
it's not really going to be that so much algorithmic like that, but there will be like 50% science and 50% kind of creative, whatever I want to do with it.
Sure.
We'll see. And the whole point is to make it a global thing, and record several pieces with different orchestras or different areas. So it could be in Beijing, could be in London, could be in Paris, could be here in LA or whatever.
That's rad.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think this stuff is fascinating. I'll talk, what are people writing?
I don't know. I'm trying to see. Sorry.
Oh, I see. Mark gets his own mic. It's cool. I'm not jealous. Tavis, did you not get your own mic? We were so green. Will Mark play for us? Oh, maybe.
There's COVID on the keyboards.
There's COVID on the keyboards. Yeah.
I'm staying away.
But I just joined. Is he talking about space music?
Yeah.
Loosely, yes, that is the best way to
Space Force.
Right, space. Yeah. I mean, so this has always been the interesting thing about your. So I have a few friends that are in classical music. You are one, and then I have another friend, and I'm always intrigued by the. But especially with like how you decide to apply your craft and where you get inspiration. I mean, like you've done. I mean, and we'll talk about it a little bit. Is your video game work, right? And you've done some movie stuff and things like that. But a lot of these things, like these two projects you just talked about, and then even I just wonder like. And I mean, the one other project that I have in my mind, I mean, it's probably like every project's different, but like, especially with these two things, is this the kind of stuff when you started going through school? Like, is this the stuff you wanted to do? Like, this was like, you wanted to just make.
Interesting. No, well, because I started just, piano when I was young, like 4 or 5 years old, and only studied classical. So I always kind of just always had a soft spot for classical, but I also love film. And when I first started when film music really started making an impact on me, I was about 10 or 11, somewhere around there. And I kind of realized that the amount of, I shouldn't say the amount of, but the level at which the emotiveness of a film or emotion that can come out of a piece of music, if you merge the two, film and music, it just kind of hyper accentuates it.
Sure.
And so that's what I kind of fell in love with, was film music, only because I was helping to tell the story. It wasn't just about the music. The music was great because you were also paired with the images. So that was kind of just where I went. So, I really getting into the more non-film music is rather new for me because, for the last 15 years now, I've just been doing film. And then, so now leading back into writing away from the screen, has it's kind of a new thing, but it's always been there because as a musician you're always writing stuff. But it's like an opposite. You're on the other side of that. You're always just writing stuff to write stuff, except some of the plays and musicals that you've done. And so I loved having a reason to write a piece of music.
Right.
Like here's the film, here are the stories, here's the backstory. This is what we want people to feel. This is what we don't want them to feel. I didn't approach it like I would just want to write cool music. No, if I always say if I just did this for 45 minutes and it effectively told the story that the filmmakers were trying to tell, I did my job. That's why I wanted to use music to tell a story. So that's how kind of it all came about.
Do you find it hard to balance? Because obviously, would you consider these, because they seem like the impetus is you, right? Like you come up with an idea, and so is it more of like a passion project sort of thing, balanced with like?
You mean the space stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, it's just simply that I've always been into space. Love it, and it was also an opportunity for me to write away from the screen.
Yeah.
And so the whole idea was, I'm really into science. My cousin is just finishing I think this year he's getting his doctorate in string theory at Stanford. And so my whole family's always been into science. So this was my way to kind of merge the two, the other thing that I loved other than film. And so, so the whole reason I wanted to do all this was so that I had an opportunity to write away from the screen on my own time. And what better to do it? Reason to do is space. So.
Right. And so, obviously with the European Space Agency is still in the works and things like that, but let's say with Apollo 11, would you feel like do you think you've learned anything, gleaned anything from having these less focused, or even, because with a film, you've got spotting sessions, you've got all these people that are telling, you've already got a pretty good roadmap as to what you're allowed to do.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. What do you think from doing the Apollo 11 thing, you've been able to like extrapolate and will go into doing again film or like?
I basically have learned that, number one is self-discipline. And number two is I have to make up this imaginary story in my head.
Right.
Rather than someone already not making it up for me, but getting me kind of started. It's like rolling the ball down the hill. They give me that push and they tell me the type of ball and they make the hill and they push it and then I have to navigate that hill. When I'm writing stuff like this, I have to make up the hill. I have to blow up the ball. I have to do everything. And then once I've figured out my creative world, then I'm living in my own creative world and everything is devoted to that. So I have to treat it like I'm actually doing a service to a thing.
Right.
So that's how I kind of approach hired to screen music.
Right. But do you think that there's something that you've done with this more self-focused stuff that changes the way you look at? I always like to think about like at the beginning of a project, just the blank page, right?
Yeah,
like
it
how do we
shift.
interpret the blank page? Like now that you've been able to do this stuff without the the circles and arrows explaining each one, like do you feel does that blank page, do you think it looks different when
Yeah,
you
it's
go?
less scary now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's way less scary because I feel like I can if I can approach let's say it's a film now. If I can approach a film, having done non-screen stuff, I feel more confident to just let myself have fun and then figure out how to work it in later. And also, it gives you a little bit of confidence because you go, oh, I can come up with stuff randomly. If you shoehorn yourself into, I have to write for this film and it has to be this thing, you'll freak out if the first idea doesn't work or they don't like it. And the biggest thing with film is it's a lot of no, so it kind of gives you an opportunity to have more fun.
Right.
And I've learned that now moving on, doing films after that, you kind of just go, whatever, I'll just start writing, you know?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
So, yeah.
Because I still find a lot of the like, what are people saying?
Sorry, I'm just trying to see if
No, it's all right.
Chris sees the keyboard. Thank you.
Let's see. Oh, great.
Oh, that's a Ben Saunders. Have I ever been taken aback by feedback or requests from a director? Yes. I've had two very different experiences. One by a French filmmaker who it was just a language barrier thing, and the whole time he was telling me flat out it wasn't speedy enough. He wanted things speedier, and I'm just like, just want me to just increase the tempo? That's weird, like the orchestra's not gonna be able to do this at the end of the day. They can't just go from 80 BPM to 95 BPM in 3 seconds.
Right.
And it was this whole back and forth, and he got angry and whatever. Turns out he wanted more intensity. And so it was weeks of pulling our hair out and super confusion to turns out he just want more intensity. And then the other, I mean, God, there are so many. There's been times people, they tell you they hate it. They've used the word hate. I hate that. I hate that instrument. I hate it. I've had people tell me they hate flutes, never use flutes. And I'm like, well, I mean, you want an orchestral, they want an orchestral score.
They don't want any flutes.
No flutes. And, I'm like, clarinets are good. No flutes. I'm like, they're going to mix in with the rest. I'm not going to write any flute solos. This isn't the flute concerto, whatever. Not happening. No, don't want flutes. Okay. And the other time that I was really kind of floored by a compliment, or a note, as it were, was with Werner Herzog, the director. I had co-scored his movie Queen of the Desert several years ago that only really got international release, which is weird because it was Nicole Kidman and James Franco and Robert Pattinson. But anyways, we were working on, it was like a hybrid score of half classical and half very ethnic Middle Eastern. And we had worked on the main titles, and I had sat with some ethnic singers and, funny enough, flute players, ethnic flute, and it wasn't him that said he doesn't like flute. And he had already kind of rejected a couple main theme ideas. And then, so we reworked it, and then I had the opening start with a very ethnic Persian vocalist doing, all the scales, and they have dozens. And then it started to come in and fill in, and then he hit his hands on his legs, and my heart kind of dropped because it's Werner Herzog, and he's scary. And he hits his hands, and he stands up, puts his hands up, and he goes, "This is the opening to my film. Don't change anything." And I'm thinking, well, fuck, this is a rough. Like, I have a shitload of stuff I need to. Really? I can't add. Don't change anything. This is okay. And when Werner says don't change anything,
You gotta listen.
You don't change anything.
Yeah.
He'll probably murder you. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the amazing thing too. Is I always, because I'm the flip, right? Like, my work is all like just whatever fucking comes into my noodle, I just fucking follow that dream and like go with it. And I have the hardest time when I sit down with either a play or a video short or whatever it is, and like somebody goes, "Okay, this is the thing," and I just go, "Oh, Jesus Christ! Like, what is that even?"
Yeah.
How do I even
Quantify?
Yeah. It's like such a relief to like do something like that and then go back and be like, "Oh, the whole world's open.
Yeah,
Whee, let's go." And
absolute scariest part of any film or project is when you send your first ideas.
Oh God.
Because you can sit and have spotting sessions for a week, and then you can send them little piano diddles or whatever, but no one wants to hear piano. They want to hear fully orchestral. What is my film going to sound like?
Right.
What is the color? And when you send your first themes, you send it, and then it's just anxiety for hours or days, however long. And if it's days, you go into a black hole, and you kind of live there.
Yeah.
You just kind of spin in a black hole like this until you get that email. And when you do, like if they write back, "This is amazing, I want to hear more, blah, blah, blah," then your confidence just goes through the roof, and you're like, I can do no wrong. And then you really open up. And what you learn is approach it like that from the beginning, and you feel it in the music. They can really see if you do 5 different versions of one theme. That's what I always try and do. I send them not just the theme, I'll send variations. Here it is like this, here it's stripped down, here it's more of this, here it's more of that, with different instruments. So they can really get an idea of how the music can shift and move and change. So you rarely want to leave people to their own creative devices and let them try and figure out what it's going to be in the future, because they won't.
Well, yeah, because the thing that reading any scoring book, any book that's designed to like help composers, like the one thing it says is you're going to have to work with people who don't have the
Any
technical
musical.
language
Yeah.
to explain what they need, let alone the language barrier, which that like
Right,
you
that
work
was
with people
even
and they're
worse.
like,
Yeah.
I need more like
Speedy.
I need more glamour.
Yeah.
Or I need more I need it to pop more.
Yeah.
And you're like, and depending on who the director is or producer or whatever, you're like, that can mean so many
Yeah,
things.
you know what? The biggest thing I've learned in working, so I was lucky enough to work with some really big film composers. The biggest thing I learned was it's really about your communication.
Yeah.
That is the biggest thing. I mean, you could really just fart out something into a microphone, but if you understand what the director wants, it's the one of the biggest things. We're getting okay. So
Next subject.
we're getting yelled
Okay.
at. Well, let's see what people are writing.
Yeah,
All
what
right,
do you think
ignore them. Tell them it's a large piccolo. It is a large piccolo. Super piccolo. It's a piccolo squared. It means you've done, yeah. Bass piccolo. Dragon Ball Z. Yeah.
wow.
What was the first game you ever... Quarantine. Hot dogs and hot good. Funny enough, I haven't really composed that much for in-game stuff, but I did do the Far Cry, which was... So Far Cry 5 that came out, what? Wasn't it 3 years?
Yeah, something like that.
4, 3? I don't know, whatever. So Far Cry 5, Inside Eden's Gate, was the accompaniment to the game. It was a film, it was a 30-minute film by Legendary Pictures, and it was released on Amazon. And now it's not available on Amazon, but in this territory it says, but you can watch the whole thing on YouTube. Ubisoft put it up. And so what was cool about doing Far Cry 5 was they said they don't want it to sound like the game. I had heard some of the game music. The game hadn't come out yet. They wanted to approach it like a film. And what's really cool is on that one, I knew the director, Barry Battles. That's his real name. He let me kind of, and I had done a few smaller projects with him in the past, and he really let me, he's like, just do you, you know? And I said, well, I need to know a little bit about the story, the game. And the whole thing was, it was supposed to, the whole aura of the game, you know, it's a kind of what is like rustic. And when you play the video game, it's a lot of kind of more Americana stuff. And I took it a very more like angelic, ethereal route. And I went the whole idea of people being seduced by the main guy, the father. I don't know if anyone here has played the game or seen the the movie. Scott, if anyone says anything about it, let me know. But so I took a very kind of angelic approach, and I used a lot of, there's church organ, there's pipe organs, there's a lot of choirs, there's a crystal bachet, which is a really cool instrument. If you have you heard about the crystal bachet?
I don't know.
Holy shit. It's basically like, thank you.
Is that the one that's all the...
It's glass tubes, and
Okay.
and it has these two weird like projectors in front of it, like fans. It looks like satellite dishes.
Uh-huh.
And you put your hands in water and you run your hands. It's like, glasses,
Yeah.
but they're long tubes. It's a little erotic, which is cool. But yeah, you just rub your fingers on it, and it sounds like it's really cool. So I use a lot of that, and so that's kind of how I approach it. They're like, do it like a film, make it thematic, tell a story, make it emotional. So it was between myself and this other composer, and they had said, pick a scene from the film and score it. It doesn't have to be long, whatever. So me, being the dipshit that I am, picked 2 like 4-minute scenes instead of one like 30-second scene.
Sure.
And I did it, and both of them were very emotional scenes. One was in the beginning. If anyone's seen the film, it was when he was preaching to everybody. It's a very cult leader-y kind of guy, but very, he has an appeal. And then, so that was like a 4-minute thing. And the other one was he went on this monologue with this capturee. And he makes her drink, or is going to get her to drink this thing that messes with her brain. And but I approached it very emotional, and I think, and the actor Greg Brick is fantastic, and I leaned against that. I didn't want to make it lame or tacky or whatever. I didn't choose the action stuff because nowadays you can just
Yeah, totally.
so I just approached it very emotionally, and that was kind of how that happened. And Ubisoft, to be fair to them, were very open to it too. They're like, yeah, it's a film. We want it to sound like a film. We don't want it to be, whatever. So it ended up working out, and it was really fun.
Nice.
I'm going to turn this way and drink water. Because it's 99 degrees in here.
It is so fucking hot. Does doing games
There you go. Words.
appeal to you? Like full
Yeah.
games? Because that's
Yeah, that would be cool.
some crazy interesting work, right?
Yeah,
Like,
because a lot of that is not writing to screen literally, because obviously you don't play the game while you write. So it's writing a lot of either very just thematic and then variations on that are just kind of underscorey for like 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes that they end up looping, and then you give them all your little stems. Each.
I was gonna say it's
yeah,
all stem work. Yeah.
yeah, and then they kind of do what they want with it. It's interesting. It's cool. I would love to. I really would. It just hasn't really come to, because everyone kind of, when they think of me, they don't think score the video game. They think score the film to the video game.
Right.
But yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I mean, how much? And this is how much music typically. I mean, because you obviously do you know people who've done
Yeah.
video,
It can
like,
vary.
Is the amount of work can be really varied.
Yeah, it could go from 20 minutes up to an hour and a half, 2 hours of music. Really depending. Yeah, I mean a typical film has about anywhere between 45 and 65 minutes of music.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's quite a bit, and usually you have to do that in 6 weeks, 7 weeks, something like that. So I know that generally speaking, if I can write minute and a half to 2 minutes music a day, I'm on a pretty damn fast schedule.
Yeah. Well, it was John Williams always talked, because he does his own arranging. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the guy's a monster.
Yeah. He said if I could do a minute a day.
Yeah, and that's with full arrangement.
That's with full arranging and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a fucking dynamo.
Yeah.
Um.
So yeah, do we have any things coming? Very interesting.
Stuart Copeland said he had to do a double.
You're on the spirit. Yeah. Mark, who's your favorite film composer that isn't me? Oh, that isn't me. That's a hard one. Oh, geez, I have several. Of course, Bernard Herrmann.
God, love Bernard Herrmann.
Yeah, it's just something different. He's his own guy. I love. Let's see, Newark, Philip Glass. James Newton Howard. I love James Newton Howard. He's so lyrical.
Yeah.
And his chords, or his harmony, his voicings, his instrument, everything about him is just, it's beautiful. And God, who else? I'm not going to go with the normal ones. Gosh, I can't really. Nino Rota did a great job on Godfather. God, I don't know. Ennio Morricone, of course. May he rest in peace. He just passed away a few weeks ago. But yeah. Glassworks Ballet and yeah, Glassworks, insane. So yeah, but I mean with Far Cry, and then same thing with Halo. That was the same deal. Movie. It was a 5-part series for the new game at the time was coming out, and that was a lot of fun. And the funny thing about that, and if anyone saw Halo Nightfall, the 5-part series, but it was, when we were scoring it, pretty much I'd say like 60-70% of it was green screen still. So that's always really interesting to see, and you'll see people in green suit holding a green boom, just standing in the background. It's just awkward, and they're like, because they're like moving this thing that's going to end up being a CGI character, and they're just it's really, you really have to look past that and imagine. And they'll send you, sometimes they'll say, hey, for this scene, like in that one, there was the actual halo, but we didn't see it. And so I'm like, can you send us the concept art, please? Something. So I'll end up sending it just so you have an idea, and you really have to kind of imagine. Yeah. Yeah. We're almost checked off. We have 2 more, the top one and the bottom one.
Yeah. Let's do the top one. Mark Kelly.
Oh, wait, let me answer this question really quick, Ben. The Halo theme is iconic. No, because they didn't want that. There was some little bit of pressure, but they very clearly didn't want that, and so we're like, cool, we just do what we want. So yeah,
neat.
Hope that answers it, Ben. So let's see, let's go with the top one. What do you think?
Yeah, Mark Kelly. So what's you did things for the Mark Kelly 2020 Senate race?
Yeah, Mark Kelly, if anyone knows who he is, he's probably one of the most famous American astronauts and fighter pilots, and awesome guy. And he's running for Senate in Arizona. Vote for him. And I'm doing all the music for his whole campaign. So all the ads that you see on TV. And again, with that, it's funny, this always happens. They go, we don't want it to sound like political ad music. Like, great, because I don't want to write political
Right.
music. You know? Yeah. Sad piano, and then shift, no, they go, look, it's going to be a lot of spots, something like 30 spots. And they want a brand for the music, for the themes. And so it has to stretch out over 30 ads, and they can't all sound the same, but they have to sound the same.
Right.
But they want it to have, the ads don't have necessarily hit points or cues that you have to hit. It's just you want to vibe, and that's it. So I just got that through a director friend of mine. He's the director on all the stuff, and it's been great. I haven't personally talked to him, but he's responded really well to the music. Apparently, from everything my friend tells me, he's the coolest guy in the world. And yeah, it's been awesome because he's just a really cool guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a really good guy.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So I mean, and this is, so when you set up, so you have to have something that's a loose enough theme to have enough how do you set that balance between, I guess it would be through melody and then choice of arrangement?
Yeah, it's funny. If you read it, there's a book, I forgot the name of it. It might be like, I don't know, studying composition or something. The different ways to achieve, to stretch out themes. And, of course, that comes with changing key, changing rhythm, changing not only the rhythm of the piece, but the rhythm in which you play the melody.
Right.
Playing chord tones instead of melody tones, whatever it is. And then you really just have to start getting creative with it. And luckily with the stuff we have on the computers, I can, instead of playing it all with synths, I can play it all with orchestra. Or you can change a lot. So, and then, what's interesting is I always say that after you spend a week or two on a project, let's say you're working on it every day, you get the soul of the project in your hands. Like when you sit down to start playing, you automatically start playing that.
Right.
And then if you let yourself just kind of have fun, like riff on that, you come up with another theme that, if you're attuned to it, will sound like it's in the same family. It's like you deliver a new child. It's different, but for some reason, maybe if someone else heard it, they would just know it's still part of that thing,
Right.
But they wouldn't know why, and maybe you don't know. You're just like, oh, that it sounds like it, so remember it. And so you just, okay, chalk that one down, and then if the theme is 4 notes, you can really, I'm looking at Interstellar, it's the most basic thing, but you can really stretch it out by the presentations.
Yeah.
And it's just like, like good food. You can have a 4 things on your plate. If it's presented well, it's a huge difference than when it's just a jib jab of whatever. So it's all about really presentation. It's hot. How do you do this?
Dude, I don't know. I just kind of black out, which is kind of just how I do everything in life. So one more question.
Yeah.
Oh no, let's talk about the bottom one. Yeah, let's talk about the classical concept album.
Yeah. So
And then I have one question after that.
Okay. Are you gonna forget it? Do you want to ask it now?
I got it locked up in here.
Are you sure?
Pretty standard.
Yes, I do lament that, Ben. So themes.
Oh.
So I came up with this concept because I'm kind of a dark guy, and so I'm writing. I've almost finished writing. It's a concept album for chamber orchestra. So if people don't know, chamber ensemble is just a much smaller. It's supposed to be, used to be like a room like this, like a big bedroom was a chamber. So it was like players that could fit in there. So like 16 players, 18 players, all strings. And it's basically, I've come up with this idea in my head of a story of a bunch of really fucked up shit happens to this fictionalized family in Victorian era England. London, like 1880s, 1890s. It's like Jack the Ripper type stuff. The kid gets kidnapped and all this shit happens. So the track listing will read like a book. So each title tells you exactly what happens. It's like Goodbye Mary, Edward the Eccentric, the terrible circumstances surrounding the glass, and whatever. And then the music it's almost going to be like you're watching a movie and reading a book, because you'll hopefully, if I've done my job, get an idea of what's happening. And it's all going to be really kind of weird. Some of it's going to be very thematic and edible, and some of it's going to be really aleatoric and weird. And I have the really crazy stuff happening where I'm going to have all the string or like the cellists turn their cellos around and they're going to play the percussion while the other ones are doing snap collegno is what it's called, where you hit the strings with your bow and really weird sounds, circular bowing, and it's going to go crazy. So right now we're talking to 3 different labels to see where I want to release it, because I really want forward thinking kind of whatever, whether it's going to be Warner or Sony or BMG or, we'll see. So that's kind of in the works, and hopefully I can get that out before the end of the year so I can then spend, well into next year on the space thing.
Oh, that sounds fucking great.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. It's really dark and weird, and I'm going to have a fantastic Italian artist, painter, who's going to do he's going to do the cover as well as probably vignettes for each piece. I'm going to have like an interactive site. So you can just go to the site and stream it and listen to it, and you can click on each piece and it opens up a different, like, that's the painting of that, like Goodbye Mary, and that's the painting, and then there's a story, and then you can hear the music. So I don't know how far it'll get, but at least the music will be done.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then Decemberist, The Hazard, Love is my favorite concept album ever.
Also, dude, maybe you're hot because you're wearing long sleeves. I got yelled at because I was wearing a white t-shirt, and producer Scott said, "You're going to get blown out. Change your shit." It's all I had. It's 90 degrees outside. Don't know why I had this in the car.
Right?
Yeah, I'm worn it. This is you guys are the first people I've seen since February. I don't, this was from February.
Yeah.
I time traveled from February to now, and it's 90 degrees, and I'm sitting in a warehouse with no AC, wearing a mask, sweating into my beard, with a sweatshirt on.
Yeah. It's a fun experience.
And sitting next to you always makes me hotter.
Nice.
So sweet.
And then, I don't know the age range of the people who watch this thing, but I always like to think for anybody who is interested in
words
scoring.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What's 3 pieces of advice you would give? And I just put up 2 fingers and said 3, but I do mean 3.
I know what you mean. I saw the other finger. Yeah, it was below the. No, actually, everyone can see it. Never mind.
All right.
Oh, geez. Don't fall in love with anything you do and think that's it. That's all you can do. You have to learn to deliver a baby and then throw it out if it comes to that. Also,
Scott. Anybody who's coming on right now, that's very confusing.
Number 2, I would say learn a wide variety of music. I don't mean be able to play polka and then go and be able to play a waltz, 1700s waltz, and then whatever, but become well versed in terms of your understanding the nuance of those types of music, because so many times you'll get people, you never want to be limited by your tunnel vision. So really start listening to a lot of different stuff. And then I would say number 3, study, if you want to get into scoring, study film. Pretend you're going to be a filmmaker, because that's how you have to approach the score. You're just another filmmaker. You're not just the musician. And you will do the film and your career so much more of a service if you approach it like you're also telling the story. That's what I would also watch a lot of film and listen to the score. See why a lot of good films, see why they did what they did. It's not just, oh, the music is great because it's orchestrated so perfectly. Take note of when the music is there and when it isn't, and what is the theme, and why did it come in there and not 10 seconds before in the monologue. Try and deconstruct it. Because there's a reason behind holding off until, a certain point or whatever it is. So, really do scene studies, just like you're an actor or director. Same thing. Approach it like a filmmaker, because that's what you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Do we have any last questions before I go pump my diabetic dog full of insulin?
Why don't we
button and then poster giveaway.
We have to do the button. We have to give a poster.
Are we going to do a button and poster giveaway?
And you can go to my website.
Where can we find your?
Yeah, I'm on Spotify. Scott, I know you put me under Spotify as the featured artist, but you can go there to listen to everything, which is my name, Mark Yaeger, Yaeger. Also my website, markyaeger.com. I think I started a Twitch just for this, 2 hours ago. Twitch.tv/my name, Mark Yaeger. I have a hard time saying my own last name. I have like a weird throat thing. Geez, I can't do it.
Interesting.
I say things weird. Yaeger.
That's okay.
I hate when I have to say my name out loud.
We won't make you say it again.
Mark Yaeger.
You're making yourself say it more than I have to.
What was that last part?
Nothing.
Okay, so what are we gonna do? Button first?
I don't know. How do we want to give these things away? Oh, you got to choose your own button.
Yeah, I'm not taking the Ghostbusters one.
All right. Oh my
What do I can't. I'm not gonna shuffle around in there.
No, don't. I'm always amazed at how fucking heavy it is, though.
It's Brian.
It's so stupid.
Okay.
All right.
Oh God. It's like putting your hand into a box of
got?
scorpions. Oh my God, that's perfect. Go watch the score for this film.
Figure.
Let's see. It's
just
gonna take a few seconds for me
It's
to be
just
able
a
to see.
picture
if
of
you can see.
E.T.
All it is. Come on. Can you guys see this?
Let's
I
see.
love it or hate it. Attack of the Clones is really. Yeah, that's true.
What does it say?
What notation software do you use? Yeah, you guys can't see. Notation. For notation I use Sibelius usually.
He was the poster boy for Sibelius.
That's
I got
right.
an email because I need to update my Sibelius. And
Avid,
I
yeah.
opened it up, and there's my fucking friend in my email sitting there fucking at his workstation. I was like, what's this handsome devil doing in my email?
Yeah, so I use Sibelius and I compose everything in Logic. And I have a Pro Tools machine that runs secondary to the Logic to just run the video.
Oh, interesting.
So those are the setup, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we are going to, what was the Scott we were going to do? Give away
We're gonna give
a few
Far Cry poster?
posters out for free? How do we do this?
If you want one,
If you want one,
send us
That's a
an
really
email.
dark picture of you.
what?
That picture you just put up of Mark?
Oh yeah.
That was really dark.
Which one?
Put it up again. He didn't see.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to wait for 7 seconds.
Oh, that's right. we got a delay here.
Yeah, it's so that we can make sure we leave in all the swearing.
Right. It's anti-FCC.
Yeah, we got to put in more swearing. That's the nice thing about wearing masks. It's like, oh, he didn't say.
I didn't say it.
He
No.
didn't say shitballs there. Let's throw that in there. That picture.
Oh, yes, that is very dark because, it turns out when you have a projector screen in the room, it can't be bright white in there.
Can't be bright. Yeah.
No. Also, it's better to not know what time of day it is when you're writing because
Yeah.
you get sad if you watch the sun go down and you haven't gotten up to pee yet, and then you realize, oh my God, I have to pee, and it's nighttime, and I'm hungry, and how long have I been in here? And then you go down a depressive black hole.
That's so my old creative space was in the basement of our place in Park Slope, and I loved that I had no windows. But then I started to get sad that I didn't have windows.
Yeah.
Because you go onto Pinterest to do some creative, like, oh, I'm gonna make some, but then you see all these creative spaces that have windows.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I wish I could look out at like trees and birds and things like that. And we have a window here, and all it does is make me sad. And I'm like, oh, the sun's coming up. Oh, the sun's going down.
Yeah, and I was also just about to drink like this until I caught myself.
But I went to a studio just recently that I haven't been in the actual studio, and there's no windows. And I was like, oh, I forgot about it's that Las Vegas thing. where you're
Yeah.
like,
Yep, that's exactly
you can just
what it
keep
is.
gambling.
Yep. So yeah, if you guys want a poster, should we have them email me or you?
Why don't we have them email you?
Okay. You can
Or
Or wait,
Or no.
do we have an email that we can?
That's it. You can just use yours.
just Scott at records.
Can you put it on the thing? If I do this, will it come up right here? Just go here. It's like that
know how to
Conan
do that?
O'Brien skit, Final Cut. Right here.
I think
Can you
I
put it
would-
there?
Not gonna happen.
No? We just point. It's not gonna magically just
Here, I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah.
put it
So
in the chat.
email
now,
them.
now we're just pointing like a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, look at these idiots.
They
We're
can't-
throwing gang
they've already
signs.
watched us be dum dums.
Yeah, that's true.
We're past dum dums.
Okay, Scott. Anything else from
I
me?
think we got it. Thank you so much for.
Of course, I'd
this
hug
was-
you, but
Yeah, not gonna happen.
No.
But this was far less. I feel like this was
I hope you guys enjoyed it
the
out
talking
there.
points. I feel like were very helpful.
Yeah, it reels you in a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
definitely.
you're just on that ball in the rodeo, and someone's poking it, and you're going.
Yeah. Katya's right.
pretty good.
She's like just. Whoosh.
Yeah.
I get tangential.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, of course. Thank you guys. And yeah, you can go to my website, which is right here, And
And his porn site, which is here.
it's a little lower than that. It's
Fair enough.
no. Oh, you had a metronome back here this whole time?
Yeah, I mean, this is a fucking quality establishment.
It is. The AC is amazing. I'm not gonna
It's
do
not. It's not. It's
not in a nice.
it's a newer. It's a newer metronome. So it does the trick.
I like it.
It's still kind of, especially with those. There's a swing.
There
and a
is.
sway
It's
to
not
those that You're
perfect.
just like, yeah. it
Yeah, you
allows
get yelled at by the digital ones.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's like a German just yelling at you.
Now!
Nine!
Now!
You suck! You suck! You suck! Constantly.
Now! And
Okay.
here's the one. Do it right, please. Now!
Where's the cowbell? No, pretend it's your address. Oh, you wrote that. I'm like, someone wants to come over? Weird. No. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. I'm out.
All right. See you, buddy.
Bye. Don't forget, E.T.
Oh! All right. That was like a really long, drawn-out episode of Mr. Rogers, where like he goes to a neat place and talks to somebody neat. Except Mr. Rogers was far more succinct, and yeah. But I feel like we know a little bit more about Mark, a little bit more about how things get done, and that I've got a long way to go and learn how to talk to people. Yeah, fair enough. We all learn things. What time is it? How long have we been doing this for?
10:37. Why don't we do another song and
Do another song.
let's turn on the air conditioning and go home.
All right. What's something that people asked for? Did they ask for something on the piano?
Sweet Caroline.
Did they? Let's see what we got. What are people asking for? Ask for something. 7 seconds later. I don't know what to do. Bad That Is Beautiful. We did Bad That Is Beautiful. I feel like I'll do Bad That Is Beautiful next time. I feel like we've done. Oh, I'm gonna take this off for a second. Oh my Lanta. Oh, sassafras and buckled jeans.
Weird with that on.
Whew.
Oh, I still hyperventilate.
I start to feel. Woo!
But also I have asthma.
Sweet baby Jane. Oh, happened again. We could probably do Happened Again. Piano. Yeah, why not? There's nothing I like more than playing piano poorly in front of my friend who plays piano excellently. Thank you for requesting the song that is going to go so badly. And but he can't hear the piano, but Mark is probably good enough to know. He's like, oh, you just mashed down four fucking keys with one finger. That's gonna sound good. So yeah, let's do that then. Happened Again, and we'll call it a. I could actually probably play 2 songs. If I'm moving over to the piano, I'll play 2. My voice sounds like shit right now anyhow. So, if you're gonna do something wrong, do it wrong a lot. That's what I always say. Oh, and remembering not to put this thing too close to the thing, because then it will make the boom, boom, boom sound every time I touch the thing. Was that clear enough for everybody? Did I say the...
You're going to have to run me through that again.
Did I say the thing enough? So fucking stupid. Where are my headphones? Oh, there they are.
I got no snare in my headphone.
I got no. This one. I'm gonna take it out of there.
Oh, I can't wait till we get the other cameras.
Oh
this
my
week.
God! Whoop! Whoop! Shit! We're still working on organizing our space, everybody. But I am going to take these off there, and put them there, and then bring this closer over. Closer over? Red Rover, Red Rover. Send a poop guy right over. I don't know what's happening. I'm so out of my gourd. All right. Let's see. All right. I see what everybody is writing. Ooh, let me grab my water. All right. 2 songs, both of which are not rehearsed. So, same as it ever was. Same as it ever was.
Do a little keyboard test.
Little keyboard test? Yeah. All right. Clear as crystal, clear as crystal. I have to ask if I'm on a roll. No self-control is a deliberate Green Day reference. No. Actually, yeah, I feel like you asked me this before, and I forgot to hit you up. I've been asked this question, or I have been asked this question before. No, it's a sub. It was from my subconscious because I love Green Day, and so I didn't do it on purpose. I try not to steal lyrics on purpose. That's just not my jam. But as things go, I'm just gonna do it because. Well, let's face it. I'm just not that bright. But you wanted to test the keyboard? You're like waiting for me to. Let's go there. Let's do that. None of those are real chords. Those were all fake chords that sounded funny. Huh? Yeah, no, they didn't. Well, that's the thing I liked about piano and still do is it's like I'll just throw the fingers out, see what they do. It's just fun. And then there's people who actually understand this beast and, make really great music with it. So what was people asking for? Happened again? I like it down here. Bow, 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 bow. Wahoo, wahoo, bow, 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 bow. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm stupid and wrong. And your brand new boyfriend's gonna twist my head open like a jar. Maybe it's time to pack up my heart and move on, 'cause I bet he plays the guitar like a dream. Gonna quit trying to save face. Gonna give up the chase. Leave the rats to their own rat race, 'cause if I had a mind to, I'd do what I please with ease. 'Cause they say it's gonna happen again. That's not right. Oh, here's. 'Cause they say it's gonna happen again. Over and over, the fun never ends. You're gonna see the oh, you gotta be kidding. Gonna do the doctor. Where's there it is. Gonna do the doctor 'cause you haven't got time for the pain. And he'll say it's gonna happen again. Over and over, the fun never ends. You can't give in to the pain that is on the rise. You'll die a little bit inside. I took back my grace and left it in a box all alone. So now I'll go fending for myself, and that's alright with you. I took all my stuff and gave a fond farewell, fuck you. And I hope he's great in bed just like you. Gonna be kind of nice. Never thought of it twice. Maybe you could get it right between the eyes. Big surprise that I'm full of lies. 'Cause they say it's gonna happen again. Over and over, the fun never ends. You're gonna do the doctor 'cause you haven't got time for the pain. And he'll say it's gonna happen again. Over and over and over, and then you'll just get back on the horse. Oh, so damn remorse. Shadoop, 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 ah. 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 Shabba-dibba-dum, come on, one, two, three. Oh, I got to get that right. It's just one section that I can't seem to get under my hands. Like intellectually, I know it. I know that I got to play the D, the F sharp, the A, the D, but I don't seem to be able to like get my hands to do it. Why? Let's see what else. Vocal mic is clipping a little. Okay, good to know.
It was true.
Yeah. Was it too high? Too hot.
Got a little high.
Yeah. I also have very little volume control. Oh, we're all accidentally stolen things. It's okay. We've all accidentally stolen things. Yeah. Scott, too hot. Bernie. Or Ben. Sorry, I got you confused for your cousin again. I apologize. I want to play this one. Again, no practice, so I don't know if it'll be any good. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show by the littlest man and his fantabulous band. There's always plenty of room for all, and we're having a ball. Oh. It's time we grab the world by the throat, 'cause so much can be done with just 12 little notes. And we're just the guys to stir up some shit, so strap in, this is it. Oh. This isn't a game, it's more of a sham. Ain't it a shame? Over and over and over and over and over again. Well, this is a place where we stop getting older, and no one can take that away. Here we control the emotional weather, so how would you like your day? So let's get started. Is that right? I don't know. So let's get started again. Make the monkey your friend. Just leave the light on when you go home. Don't say that you know. Get up and prove it again. Just leave the light on when you go home. There it is. He's passed out on the lawn. There ain't no kind of way to get through. Am I getting through you? Oh. They hear the sound of cash machines polishing brass rings with every song that we sing. Then go and get their tan from a can, and we'll call it they sing it over and over and over and over and over again. This is a place where we stop getting older and they try to take it away. Here we control the emotional weather, so let's have a sunshiny day. So let's get started again. Make that monkey your friend. And just leave the light on when you go. Don't say that you know. Get up and prove it again. And just leave the light on when you go. Just leave the light on when you go. Woo, yeah, yeah. Just leave the light on when you go. Not too bad. Could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
That's always a good way to end things. Hey gang, thanks for coming. Could have been worse. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for coming. We'll see you later on in the week. Take care of yourselves and each other. Have a good night. And thanks to Mark for being a sport. Absolutely. He again, I love that man. Check out his work. He's a very, very talented. And if you couldn't tell under the mask, which I don't see how, even in a mask, sexy, sexy man. I'm not lying. Even in a mask, I was like, if I wasn't married. Did that get awkward? Hey, gang. But yeah, thank you so much. Have a great night. As usual, take care of yourselves. And most importantly, seriously, each other. Yeah, we'll see you around the mulberry bush. Have a good night.